Hi, I'm Jen with Jen's Extraordinary Life, and today we are going to make a pumpkin pie. This is the perfect pumpkin pie, and you only need a few ingredients for this. You need pumpkin puree or pure pumpkin, 2 eggs, some sweetened condensed milk. I usually get the Eagle brand, but they were out because it's almost Thanksgiving and that's what happens. So we are going with Great Value today. I'm sure it's fine. You need some salt, nutmeg, ground ginger, and cinnamon. And then you need a pie crust. Now you can make your own pie crust, but for this one, we are not going to. Typically, I use this pie crust, which is a pumpkin pie spice nut pie crust. However, this particular pie I am making for my son, and he doesn't like nuts, and he doesn't care for that crust. So we are going with a graham cracker crust, and this is just a plain old pre-made graham cracker crust. And so I've done it both ways. Depends on who I'm making the pie for. I've also done the homemade pie crust or the frozen pie crust or the refrigerated pie crust that you roll out from Pillsbury and all the things. And I really don't see that much of a difference, to be honest, in the different kinds of pie crusts. So we're going with a store-bought pie crust today. All right, so I'm just going to set that aside. I have taken the liner out. I'm going to move this pie crust that I'm not using out of the way. And this recipe is so easy. All you do is mix all the things together and bake it. The first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 425. And I know you're saying that sounds like a really high temperature to cook it in. Pumpkin pie is a custard base, and so you don't want it to crack. So what we do is cook it at 425 for the first 15 minutes, and then we're going to lower the temperature. So I have started it preheating to 425, and I'm going to get all of my ingredients going here in my bowl, and then we'll put it in for that 15 minutes. The other thing I've done is take a tub of Cool Whip out of the freezer to let it be thawing. I'm also going to set this aside because when it's finished and it's all ready, we're going to dollop some Cool Whip on top of it. So anyway, all right. Super easy. All you do is take your pumpkin. You can use a stand mixer for this, but you want to put it on whisk and use it on the lowest setting. And I know y'all know I love my stand mixer, and I'm usually a fan of doing that. But this is so quick and easy, I'm not even going to mess with it. All right, you're going to pour your can of sweetened condensed milk in there. That right there, folks, is where all the yummy goodness comes from. And then you're going to put your spices, and it's a ½ teaspoon of salt, a ½ teaspoon of nutmeg. Now, you could use pumpkin pie spice instead of using all of the various spices, but this just seems to turn out better this way to me. But hey, it's my make-believe cooking show. When you do yours, you do it your way. It's your kitchen. You do what you want. All right, so ½ teaspoon of those 3, and then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. All right, and then the 2 eggs, and that's it. That is all you need. Pour all of that in there, and then we are going to, I'm just going to kind of fold it real quick, and then I'm going to whisk it. Okay, so I have folded those ingredients in there. Now I'm going to get my whisk and just whisk it all up. Making sure to incorporate those eggs. And again, if you do choose to use your stand mixer or your hand mixer for this, you're going to want to put it on the lowest possible speed and use a whisk attachment if you have it. But you can totally just do this by hand. See how fast and easy that was? And then it just makes a really soupy mixture. That's it, folks. That's the whole thing. So pretty much if you can stir, you can make a pumpkin pie. All right. Just going to make sure that everything on the bottom got mixed in. And it feels like it did. Now I like to take my pie and put it on I have an old baking sheet for when things bubble over, and I like to put it on that in case things spill over. And you're just going to dump all of this in here. I'm telling you, this is so easy and it is going to be so delicious. And it's going to expand and rise up. So it's going to come up over the top of this. That's okay. Remember I took that lid off of this pie crust. It does have very sharp edges on that tin foil if you do that. So you want to make sure you fold all of those back down. Probably should have done that before I poured it in, but I kind of forgot. But this is real life. All right, so that is my oven preheated. Again, that was to 425. I'm going to carefully take this over and place it in the oven for the first 15 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. After the first 15 minutes, remember we're going to reduce the temperature to 350 degrees, and then we're going to cook it the remainder of the time, which is, I think, 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes. And you're going to want, this is going to kind of keep it from splitting. Now, that's a lot of pie for that crust, so it's probably going to rise up and be a little bit overboard, and I'm okay with that. We could have left some of that out and maybe put it in some little miniature pie crusts. I have seen those at Walmart before, the little individual size graham cracker crusts. And so what we could have done was pour a little bit into those so that it didn't overflow, but I kind of wanted it to be big and fluffy, so that's what we're going with there. So we'll see you back in 15 minutes. Okay, it's been 15 minutes, so we're going to reduce the heat to 350 and let it continue baking the rest of the time at 350. If you're wondering what's going on here, that's supper, chicken noodle soup. Okay, it's been another 30 minutes. I'm gonna check it. And you know it's finished when when it starts to set, but the middle is jiggly, but you can stick a knife in it and it comes out mostly clean. So let's check it. Oh, that looks perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out and then we'll let it cool. Let's get that. All right, so we're gonna let this cool for a couple of hours. I have transferred the pie to a cooling rack just to let it finish cooling a little bit before we actually cut it and serve it. So that just kind of helps with the process. You can always put it in the refrigerator and let it cool that way. But I like to let it just cool on its own on a wire rack. Appreciate you watching. I hope you'll come back and watch more. Love for you to subscribe, stick around and watch the rest of my videos. Leave a comment, like, share, and just show us some love. Until next time, I hope you have an extraordinary life. Bye-bye.